Leading from heart, it's sacred. And for those of us who are on the journey back to who we truly are, it's actually a part of that walk, and a really powerful, deeply human, and often magical part. It's where you begin to feel more, especially for others. And it's where you allow yourself to express more care and more love, where you give to others, where you consider them, and where you really deeply empathize. And in doing so, you do it because it feels right and it feels like truth to you. But for many of us, it's not been enough. Like for the woman who's led from heart for her whole life, but within her, she just feels and knows there's more, but she's not quite sure what that is and even why there's more. And then for the man who's led with heart and he's done what he believed was the right thing and right by others, but now is starting to question the cost of doing so to himself. And for those of us who know there's more, but we're still, I don't know, hiding our truth and swallowing it behind what we were taught was leadership. We know there's something more. And how do I know this? I've walked it. You see, for me, leading from my heart came from a deep care and love for the people I was walking with. It came from empathy because I understood and knew what they were feeling, from consideration and from my passion for people. It came from the part of me that wanted to make a difference. And it was the part of me that felt others' pain, their powerlessness. And yet I knew what they truly deserved. And because I felt it so strongly in me, I believed I was doing the right thing. And I was. But the heart, as sacred and as powerful as it is part of our human self. And it's a human organ. But it does hold emotional processing and it's connected to emotional processing. It's a prominent area for that. And it carries all the experiences we've had about love and emotions. What we've been told, what we've discovered, and what we learned is not love. And when we lead from heart, especially before we've healed a reasonable amount of ourselves, what often happens is we find ourselves giving and giving and giving, but not from wholeness. We give from the part of us that wants to make it right for others and the part of us that's gone without. And in doing so, we give part of ourselves away. We consider other people and forget ourselves. And we also try to fulfill their needs but abandon ours. And we act on and show love in the way that we've been taught. And we carry that into how we lead. And most of us, we got hurt in doing so. We had expectations that weren't met. We weren't given back to. And we often ended up depleted rather than fulfilled. So, on that journey back to yourself, you come to a place where there is a bit of a shift. It's a place where you've healed a lot of emotion and you've unraveled a lot of what you've been conditioned by and that you've learned, especially when it comes to love and especially when it comes to emotions. And what you do in that process is actually create the space within you for your soul to come through more, for it to express more. And in doing that, you actually start seeing the world through different eyes. And you start to experience that the giving you've been doing has actually, as I said, been you giving yourself away or parts of yourself. So instead of giving, you start sharing and you begin to value yourself more, and you also stop abandoning your wants and what's right for you. You stop overriding your truth and you see dynamics that are no longer right for you. And your love, it begins to express itself differently because it's no longer an emotion, but your love actually is you. Love becomes who you are because that's who you are at essence. It's not something that you act on or have to show or prove that it's real. It just is you. And the desires you had to fix and rescue, to be the one that fights and holds it all for others, well, that begins to dissolve, and instead what you experience is acceptance. And this is where your soul begins to lead, not just your heart. Because now your heart has released a lot of that emotion that it's been carrying. And so what it has the chance to do is to return to what it's meant to do. And that is to keep your human body alive, to support the flow of your soul's expression, not to carry your pain, not to carry what you've learned, not to carry that burden. And as your soul begins to take up more of that space and lead, and what starts to change is how you see things, how you approach things, the energy you emit, the whole way you interact with people, and the way you lead. Because your soul now is the one that is leading you. So you no longer are looking to prove yourself or be received or to fix. You don't lead from feeling, and you're not leading from giving to be the good and the right person. You're leading from truth and what's true. And your love stops being in action and it becomes just you. Your leadership is no longer an effort or a conscious thing or you having to be careful or mindful. It becomes an alignment of your human and your soul. Your heart is still part of the process. It's part of your human and it's integral to you being on this earth. But it's no longer in charge. The heart, it gives. The soul shares. And there is a difference. The heart feels. The soul knows. The heart considers others. The soul still considers others. But what the soul does is it includes you. And when the soul leads, there's no more needing to prove your love or to act on love. You become it, and it is natural to you because it is naturally you. And this is a really critical part of the walk home to your soul. And when you walk it, when you stop leading from those emotional patterns, you stop leading from the heart and you start leading from the soul, you don't just feel different, you become different, and you are the difference. And your leadership and your relationships, your work, your interactions, you actually become an example for others. Not because you're trying to be, but because you are. Because you've walked the journey. You know this walk. And you can guide others through it. This is the work I walk people through. And if this is where you are, if this is where you know there's a difference for you between leading from heart and you know there's more, if you know you're standing on an edge that says you can go deeper and there's more, then we can have a soul conversation. Just DM me and I'll send you the link.